Hey everyone, this is John from EastCoastArmory.com. I'm here today with a really quick tutorial video for dealing with the small little grab handles that are found on many 1/35 scale and smaller tanks. A lot of kits out there, they have little grab handles on them, like this example over here, which is a TACCOM 1/35 scale M46 patent, the topic of its own model showcase video, I might add. Love it, awesome kit. But one thing about this kit, and many other kits like, is that they have a lot of little grab handles on them. And these grab handles are very, very finely molded and are very frail. And in most cases, you have to remove them off of the sprue, and then you have to clean them and deburr them and then mount them in place. And with the frailness of some of these parts here, a lot of people can easily screw up and break these pieces. And with this little tip and trick that I learned many years ago in my teenage years, this is something that could definitely come of aid and possibly help you out on your build. Specifically, what we're looking at here are the grab panels that are found on the sides of the bins here. Here you can see what they look like fitted in place. And this is what they look like on the sprue. So on this kit over here, we have these two examples left on the sprue. And as you can see, they're very thin, finely molded parts. And with the way they're molded, I should say, there will be a little burr in these two sections over here. And these two little sections need to be polished away in order for the build to look good. Otherwise, if you have the piece with some clunk hanging off it, it's not doing you any favors. The problem is trying to deburr these is something that can be very, very problematic because look at how freaking thin these things are molded, which is a testament to the kit. It's nice that they get the tooling down to this thinness, but a lot of times they can be destroyed. So I'm going to show you here a technique that, again, I pioneered or mastered many, many moons ago, and hopefully this is one that it's been working great for me ever since, and hopefully it could come innate on your own builds. So the first thing I need to do is I need to remove this off of the sprue, and that is done with just a pair of clean cut snips. Clean cut snips are going to be paramount. If you do not have a set, buy a set. They're everywhere. They're on Amazon, AliExpress, you name it, you can find a pair of these. If you're building a plastic model or building plastic models and you don't have this in your toolbox, you're basically just crazy. You just pick a pair of these and they'll make your job and life so much easier. However, even with the snips, you will still have a slight burr on this piece over here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to quickly just remove off of the sprue over here. So very carefully, I might add. Okay, so here you can see the piece now removed off of the sprue. And if this was any other item, namely a bigger, chunkier item, at this point here, you could progress with deburring either with an X-Acto, a needle file, or some sandpaper. And that will actually work normally on most other parts. For something like this, you don't want to do that because if you try to take some sandpaper like I have over here and try to deburr it, it's just going to put a lot of strain on the part, and it's going to flex, and it's going to snap on you. And now you're screwed, and you have to replace it with a metal one. So in order to deburr the piece, it's still going to be done, but it's going to be done after the piece is actually fitted to the model. This probably sounds crazy and counterintuitive to some people out there, but hear me out. It's actually a technique that works quite well. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the handlebar with the burrs still present, as you can probably see right there, and I'm going to install it to the model in the appropriate location. Most people use cements. I like to use super glue, but either way, no matter if you use glue or super glue, the technique will still work regardless. So from here, I'm just going to drop this guy in place. And once installed, I'm going to let the glues thoroughly set and dry. At this point here, I'm going to go ahead and remove and install the third one. And after that's completed and the glues are thoroughly set, I can go ahead and show you how to actually deburr these things and do it in a way that's quite safe, and it's one that has some excellent results. With the last of the handle glued in place, I'm going to go ahead now and wait for this side to dry. But while doing that, I'm going to go ahead and take care of the burrs on this side because the glues have already been set, which is an advantage about using super glue as opposed to using cements. But that's neither here nor there. As for the burrs, you can see the burrs still sticking up on each of these grab handles here. Obviously, it looks very unsightly and it will just ruin your finish. But now it's time where I can go ahead and take care of the burrs. And to do this, I'm going to take some 400 grit sandpaper. I'm just going to lightly go over the top sections here, and I'll gradually smooth it out. Now, if you're saying, well, John, why don't you just do this when you first remove the part off of the sprue? Answer is quite simple. Because of the frailness of these parts, trying to hold them or jig them in hand either with your fingers or with a tool of one flavor or another, just doesn't really work. It doesn't really hold on to the part, and you'll end up getting flex, and the piece will snap on you, as I mentioned before. However, once the unit is actually glued permanently and sturdily to the tank, is that a real word? We'll just go with it. It's glued to the model, and the glues are set, and the thing is rock solid. Now the piece is set in place, and it's being supported by the vehicle itself. And it's going to be much stronger in this format as opposed to trying to fiddle with it with your fingers or with a plier of some sort. And it also makes it a bit easier to work on. So I'm just going to take my 400 grit sandpaper and lightly just go over these sections over here for a number of passes until the piece is sanded away. Now, when you're doing the burr removal, remember, this is round stock, so you don't want to just stay on one plane. You want to go ahead and shift the angle a bit so that when the material is removed, it removes it in a blunt, rounded manner, and it doesn't get a flat running across the top. And you just basically do this until you're good to go. And that looks much better now, see? These three have been taken care of in one shot. It's part of the advantage about working on a patent like this, but either if it's a Sergeant York or a Sherman or a Tiger, whatever, if it has handles that are like this on the sides, or even on the side of a Tart or something, same is also true like on an M60 with the Gypsy rack or even the side grab handles. This type of a procedure is one that will come in handy for you. Same thing with the one over here. See, I didn't really hit him yet, but now I'm going to go ahead and just carefully glide over the pieces. And again, 400 grit sandpaper, found in any hardware store. And it makes really short work of the job. As you can see, it's so much easier for me to hold on to the model like this and just glide over the rails as opposed to trying to hold each and every one of those little pieces separately. You don't want to put pressure on it, you don't want to break the things, just lightly glide over these pieces here. And when you're done, the piece will be completely smooth. And these guys now are all set. I'm going to do the same steps to the one on the opposite side. In addition to doing this to handles, the same procedure can also be used for other type of fittings that are equally as frail and as fragile. The type of parts that love to fling off to Lost Partia are always the hardest to deburr. This technique here will definitely come in handy. Case in point, again, on this build that we have over here, I did the exact same technique to the little locks that are found on the storage bins. These things are ridiculously tiny. There are some burrs on them that need to be removed, and again, it's the most easily done after it's been permanently glued and secured to the fender as opposed to doing it separately. A lot of people out there might make that mistake and bing, the piece is flung off and now you're screwed. Do it this way and it'll save you some time. Glue in place, wait for the glue to set, a few passes here or there, and presto, you're good to go. In addition to little grab handles, you can also use it on brush guards and other things that are very frail and fiddly. It's a technique that I've used time and time again, and it's one that's actually used quite often. Hopefully you walked away from this video with a new technique to keep in your toolbox, and it's one that will assist you with your future builds, making them come out just a little bit better, and also having gone through the build process with less stress. Either way, that's definitely a win. However, I need to get back to work, and therefore, so should you. And with that, that wraps up this tutorial video on 1/35 scale tank grab handles. If you like this video, be sure to subscribe to this channel, where it's a great way to keep up to date on new posted content, being tutorial videos like this one over here, or the smaller scale model showcase videos and larger scale project update videos that frequently get posted. Another way to keep in the loop new posted content is by liking us on Facebook. There you can see more photographs of the other smaller and larger scale builds that have been seen on this channel in the past. Not to mention, swing by eastcoastarmory.com for more 1/6 and 1/16 scale builds and detail components. Thanks again. I'll be seeing you all again on the next one. See you there.